Quit acting like millennials. We were millennials. Anyways.
We still
got
are.
so mad I ripped the cord out of my headphones. I could not hear anything.
The trauma is real with this one.
Yeah.
Expert in fucking, I don't know. Great power. For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to Reddit on Wiki, where we scour Reddit in search of some of the wildest stories the internet has to offer. My name is Josh Shell, and with me are my two co-hosts, John Consignato and Sean Salvino.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, Hawaii?
What's
Sean?
up, dude?
Hawaii.
Did you just get back from vacation or something?
No, I'm just trying to manifest good vibes this summer.
Oh, I like it.
Meanwhile, I want summer to go away now. I hate the heat with a passion.
I don't wish that, because then it's winter for me, and I don't want that. Although there would be less fires, so I guess there's that.
I need it to be cold, like 40 to 50 degrees at all times.
Just don't go
or
outdoors,
I will die.
We'll just
The outdoors
we'll
is fucking up
spots.
my indoors.
You
It's
live
so
in my
damn
house,
hot.
I'll live in your house.
I don't want to leave
We'll
my
trade.
house. I have so much fun things inside here.
Oh, that's true. I have a basement, though. Do whatever you want down here.
Like murder people. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say. Start a cult.
Oh, God. All right. Well, someday, when it's winter for me, I'll vacation down there and see you guys.
Oh, Jesus.
How about that? No? Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Uh,
if I'm
so-
still here.
If you're still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, we have a wet wedding. A will.
What?
That's all I'm giving you. Just a wet wedding. A will causes a commotion in a family. A doctor looks down on a nurse along with an update. A vain
Looks
daughter
down.
is taught a lesson, and a gift causes a grind between partners.
Ooh,
So,
what kind of grinding?
coffee grinding.
Oh.
So for the Patreon exclusive stories, we have an OP who mocks their friend's weight, and a husband tells his wife she can't be a bridesmaid. So if you want to hear those last two stories and get ad-free episodes, head on over to patreon.com/cultivate podcast network. Sign up today and help support the show. Boys, is there anything you want to hop into before we get into these stories?
Let's
I
get
feel like
wet.
both of those Patreon stars are going to make us so mad. The titles alone already have me a little bit heated.
And if it doesn't make you mad, Sean, you got to act like it does so that more people.
Even I'm just going to sell that I'm so mad, guys.
So furious.
You have to be a patron to hear me get
You gotta
so mad.
bust out of the Hawaiian shirt.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, that's for the rich tier on our Patreon.
Oh,
Oh, the rich motherfucker. Oh, yeah, rich. Yeah, you're right.
Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Rich motherfuckers. Those rich won't get it.
yeah. For every 5 minutes we're behind the patron, Sean undoes a button. That's how.
My bonus episodes get a little wild this month, y'all.
They get a little hot. Too hot for John.
That hot, I welcome.
No, that kind of hot you're
Yeah.
into. Okay, I understand.
Hell yeah.
So let's hop into the first story here. Cross posted by Secure _ Raccoon _ 8980. And the title is, Am I the asshole for refusing to wet myself for my sister-in-law's wedding?
What?
No.
Like piss on yourself?
Could mean that.
I said no.
Yeah, I don't think guests are subjected to being ridiculed, even if it's a wedding. So I'm going to go with no.
A wetting.
A wetting. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So
yeah, you've been hanging out with me way too goddamn
This summer
much,
shirt
Josh.
is not bringing the vibes. I'm not loving it.
Yeah, I think we're doing too many episodes, John. You're starting to rub off on me.
True.
Not in the fun way.
You want it to be the fun way?
So Sean's saying, not the asshole. What are you saying, John?
I'm going not the asshole either.
Okay. I like it. Let's see what this weird story leads to.
Wedding? What the fuck?
The wedding happened in a little river, And I mean in the river, in the water. The minister, bride, who's my sister's husband, or who's my husband's sister, and groom stood on a little strip of land so they were not wet. But all attendants were expected to stand knee-deep, rushing water for the whole ceremony. I'm sure it made for great photos, but I personally really dislike mud, germs, insects, and whatever diseases are found in that stream. The kids who couldn't easily stand in water that might be as tall as their body were left in ankle-deep water nearby with a couple older women. When I refused to remove my shoes, socks, and pull up my dress pants, my husband offered that I stay with the kids. I said no, I refused to walk into the water, even if it's just ankle deep. Apparently, most people knew that they were about the water thing, but I didn't. My husband knew, but he claims he forgot to tell me.
Ooh.
The ceremony could have easily moved forward with me standing on shore, just a few feet away from the kids, but no. The bride and groom apparently refused to start until every person was in the water, and my husband waited in the water back and forth between his sister and me to mediate. My husband was becoming visibly angry at me the longer it went on, and kept acting like I was in the wrong. The bride and groom eventually relented, and the ceremony went on. It was delayed by maybe 30 minutes. In the after party, I felt like I was being avoided by everyone, including my husband. That was nearly 2 weeks ago. My husband was stone-faced and refused to talk to me about it or anything for several days. When he started talking again, he refused to address the wedding beyond telling me that I humiliated him in front of his family, and he refuses to talk about it any longer and says things like, I will get really angry if you keep bringing up this topic. Put it to rest and I will try to forget about what you did. But I feel like I did nothing wrong. I feel blindsided because if I had been told in advance what the wedding entailed, I'd have faked a stomach bug and not attended at all. So am I the asshole?
No. And that husband can cry me a river, damn it. Like, come on.
Jesus.
If
you were waiting the whole time to say that.
The whole time. I was waiting for that the whole time. And by the way, stream Reddit on Wiki, wherever you find your podcast with Maniacs.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And like this could have been easily avoided had the husband not conveniently forgotten to disclose that information. Because then I feel like the OP, had they known, which they disclosed, that, hey, I'm not going to do that. And just because it's someone's wedding, like I said earlier, they're not subjected to want or to make them do things that they don't want to. And yeah, rivers are gross. Like there's a lot of nasty shit in there. And if OP was like, I don't want to, I'll just be here. Like it's not going to affect the fucking wedding. Like why does it matter? So not the asshole for me.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think at the end, I don't think you're an asshole for sure because you were blindsided. I do think, either you or your husband should have just been like, should I just like wait in the car or something so the fucking shit can get started? Like zero fucking solutions or compromises or tried, it sounds like. So yeah, I mean, I think that would have been a good solution. I mean, you said you wouldn't have gone anyway, so you might as well just have waited in the car for the whole time. Because
instead of waiting in the water.
I mean, it's not your fault, but Jesus Christ. Anyways,
Sean, for someone wearing a Hawaiian shirt, you're not going with the flow, my guy.
Yeah, you're
I'm about to head out. I'm about to fucking head out. Anyways, yeah. I mean, it's not your fault. You got blindsided. I would have just left if I were you. But whatever. Because it is his own fault. But
yep,
that does look bad on him, I guess.
Yeah.
Either way, it should look bad on him because he didn't tell you.
Because he didn't say shit.
That's the biggest thing, right? Like, and she admits that. Okay, well, I just wouldn't have gone. Like,
yeah, and I imagine if you know your partner a decent amount, you would know that they're
not comfortable with that
germaphobe.
kind of things. Yeah.
And if they're a germaphobe, they probably wouldn't want to step in a river. So you would want to tell them ahead of time, as to not cause a scene. So yeah, I don't know. Huge oversight by this husband here. You're not the asshole. Husband is. I don't know if the husband. Well, he wasn't great in his reaction to everything. So yeah, I guess it is safe to say he sucks. He's an asshole.
Oh, he definitely sucks. And he's not 100%. Even mature enough to have a conversation after. He's like,
that's rough.
Just don't talk about it with me so I can just forget it. Like, dude.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
This all boils down to you not being able to communicate properly. So
yeah,
why don't you guys talk, you fucking idiots?
Yeah, not a great example of good communication. You got to be able to fucking conflict resolution. You got to be able to talk about it. And I'm not the greatest talker when it comes to conflict. You know what I mean? But you can't say like, don't talk about it or I'll get real angry.
Yeah.
Especially
when it's days
especially when you're
after. I get it.
married.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand how he can be angry anyway, since it's his fault
Yes.
because he didn't tell
He's a root of
her,
the problem.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the main contention point here. I mean, is it weird that the bride and groom are forcing everyone to stand in the water? And even then they relented eventually. So why did they care that? I don't know. It's just, I get it's your wedding and you want whatever you want to happen. But I think you got to be okay with some people not being able to go in the water or want to go in the water. I
imagine it was probably like a big part of their
I
was
can
all over their invitations and shit. I'm sure it was all over their website. Like
now I can understand that.
Because if
I
she's
can
the
understand
only
that
one,
now.
or if OP is the only one that didn't know, everybody else is fucking vibing. They already know. And if you weren't vibing, then you didn't come. Like OP wouldn't have
true
or would have done. You know what I mean? So I don't really blame them because they have their vision. They let people know ahead of time. It's not their fault. The
husband didn't
sucks.
say anything. Yeah.
right. But I think it's like I don't know. I still think you got to be okay with it. Like you got to give people the out if they don't want to, and just be like, okay, we'll stand off to the side so you're not in the pictures at least. You know what I mean?
Or just
like
ask them to leave. I don't know why nobody thought that. Like, wait, like postponing and trying to like get somebody to get in the river seems so convoluted and strange. Just it's everybody river or go wait in your car. We'll see you at the reception. Like, I don't understand why it's such a big. Nobody came up with this idea. The idea that we came up with in like the 5 minutes of listening to the story. Nobody thought of that. Ridiculous.
Apparently not. One comment here made me laugh because it kind of reminds me of when you guys were making your predictions. Medium Ghetto says, I thought this might be about some bizarre ritual / tradition of the bride that involves urinating one's pants. The actual story is almost just as odd.
That's what I thought of. I'm like, wait, wedding yourself? Like, why would you do that at a wedding?
I was thinking the bride or groom maybe did something very embarrassing and they're like, quick, please wet your pants. That's what I was thinking.
True. I didn't even think of that. That's that would be
But
funny
either way, even if that was the thing, you're still not the asshole for not doing it either. Because, you're wearing a suit or a dress, probably a rental. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
True. All right. Well, let's move on to the second story here. Cross-posted by Mitch8. And it's titled, Am I the Asshole for Leaving Money to My Girlfriend in My Will?
Leaving money to your... Ooh, I'm going to go with yes, because usually wills are saved for spouses.
Well, I mean, you're assuming...
So you're assuming this is a side piece?
Maybe.
Maybe. What's your? What are you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I was like, wait, how are you? Maybe just say what you're thinking.
Maybe they're not like. Maybe they're. I don't know. Like, I just feel like you don't leave a will to just a girlfriend. You leave it to maybe like a kid or like an estate or a family, not a girlfriend. But that's just me.
That's fair.
So your assumption is that he's with this girl, has kids, and is giving her the money. I'm sorry.
My question, like when you do like life insurance and all that, like your dependent can't be just a girlfriend, right? It has to be like a legal partner.
I don't know what the law is, to be honest.
I was gonna say I think you could do whatever. It's your will. And I'm just getting that from watching Knives Out when that guy, spoiler alert, that guy gave the nurse all his money.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If
I don't know. I'm thinking of it as like a benefit, and it's usually spouses that get that, or like
no, but there's different types of life insurance. It's not just like life insurance.
Well, I don't know shit about wills, so that's just my guess. I'm still saying yes, just for that reason.
I'm gonna say no. It's your money. You can give it to whoever you want to when you die.
Fair enough. I mean, that is true. You can. So here goes.
I'm just following Knives Out rules. All those.
I've never watched it.
It's a good one. I did.
It is a great movie.
I don't think I spoiled anything. Really, that happens pretty soon. That she gets.
I tuned out, so I don't know what you said.
Okay, yeah, it's on Prime, I think.
I think you're right. I think both.
Yeah, the first one is on Prime. The second one is on Netflix.
That's
why
what
that
it
makes
is. That's
sense.
what it is. Yeah. Because I think Netflix bought the rights to.
And Dave Bautista is in the second one. If that gives
Is
you
he?
any, if that entices you
Maybe.
to watch.
He's
We'll
great in it.
He's a great actor. He's the best wrestler turned actor, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, John Cena with Peacemaker might be contention for that, but
Batista has more of like
range, more range.
Range,
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
right.
More range.
Yeah. I'm just saying it was a great show.
Peacemaker was fantastic.
Yeah.
Still
All
never
right.
watched
So, so once again, this is Am I the Asshole for Leaving Money to My Girlfriend in My Will? And it goes as this. I, 55 male, have an arrangement with my wife, 54 female.
Oh no, I'm wrong. Fuck.
I told you with those wives, baby. It has to be legally
damn
married.
it.
I don't know.
So we've been married for 32 years, and around year 15, the sex life started getting stale. Around that time, we were both in our late 30s. Our 2 kids were just preteen funk.
My 30s. That's not old at all.
Yeah.
Wait, that's year 15?
Yeah. So they would have been married for 15 years at that point. They're now 30. They're now 55. So at that time, our 2 kids were in that preteen funk, and my career was accelerating at a speed that I never anticipated, while my wife was just gone back to work at that time. All this to say was I was spending a lot of time away from home. My wife didn't seem to mind that, and I did not seem to care that nobody was initiating sex anymore. A few years go by, and we wake up at 46 and 47 to realize how much tension there was in our marriage. We finally had money, house, and friends we wanted, but there was mutual resentment. After trying 3 therapists, we accepted the fact that we were both no longer up to being intimate with each other. My wife and I agreed that we could both have a fling on the side as long as we did not humiliate each other. However, while she did sleep with one other man on and off, she said she was happy being sexless. Meanwhile, I, 5 years ago, started a discreet relationship with my girlfriend, 28 female. Over the years, I began to have feelings for her. She had trouble with depression and employment, so I paid her rent and bought her some things. My wife isn't thrilled, but she said it's fine as long as the money doesn't make a real dent in our finances. However, now, maybe as punishment for my unhealthy life choices, I have cancer. That's when I realized a lot of the emotional bonding I've done over the past years have been with my girlfriend. I regret the fact that I cannot marry her and wanted to show that I care about the years that she sacrificed for me. My wife and I signed a prenup because I was going to med school, and in her youth, she had money problems. It entitled her to half my estate, but the other half I could do with what I wished. I decided to meet with my lawyer and give 20% of my liquid assets to my girlfriend. In addition, she would be given an investment property I had, which would yield her about $60,000 a year in monthly rent. I told my wife right after I met with the lawyer, and she was furious. She said that she tolerated this girlfriend, but leaving her that money went too far. She said that her main concern was that I was taking it away from our kids, and that they would have to find out about this. I told her that my girlfriend means something to me, even when I tried not to let that happen. And I reminded her that she agreed to the arrangement, and she would still be getting the bulk of my estate. My wife will also get her fair share, and no, there are no alterations of affection law in our state. So am I the asshole?
I'm going to preface this by saying I don't like this guy that much. You know what I mean? I don't
preface that, because sometimes people don't understand.
Yeah, I don't really care for what this man has chosen to do with his life. But I will say, I think I stand with my initial judgment, and that it's his money. He could do it. Like, because we always have because I don't know, they're adult children at this point. It is I think it's fucked up to give your girlfriend more than you're giving your children, because the wife is getting 50, the girlfriend is getting 20, and it sounds like there's multiple children. So for sure, if you're splitting up that rest of that 30, it's going to be less than the 20 that your girlfriend gets. But again, it is the money you earned and worked for. It's yours. We've done things where, we've done stories where the end all be all is yeah, it's your money. You could do what you want. So I think I'm standing by, it's your money. He could do what he wants. I don't love it. I don't like.
So to combat a little bit on that, Sean, so a lot of the comments are saying the agreement wasn't to have another relationship. It was just have a
sex, fling.
Right?
Yes.
And so he's breaking that agreement by making this thing a relationship.
I mean, truly, he should have got a divorce.
Yes, probably.
True. That should have been the first step, and that's why I am sticking with that I think he's the asshole because ultimately it's taking away funds for his children. It is unfortunate that he's dying. And like what you said, Sean, I agree. They did have some sort of an arrangement, but I feel like he broke that arrangement by having a more like intimate. It seemed like he really loved this girlfriend. So if at that point he should have done like the amicable thing and just divorce, get the finances straight up or straightened out then. And then when that divorce finalizes, then he can do whatever the hell he wants with his money. So that part, I'm still calling him that. And I'm also like icked out because how old was the girl? I know she's 25, above 25. And the rule
28
is
and
like
55.
That is like double the age.
It's above the 25 rule though.
It is. I don't want to assume anything, but this is giving me like
sugar daddy.
For sure.
Like, was he a sugar daddy or was there ever like really some sort of like a romantic connection? Because he didn't really say anything specific about like what she did for him. It was just more like, hey, like I got with her. I ended up falling. Like there was no context
I pay her rent,
for me. So
I buy her things.
Yeah, that's why I'm like
daddy.
sugar daddy-ish to me. So that's why I'm sticking with the asshole grade.
Yeah. What happens when we disagree as far as the competition goes?
Oh, that's true.
Well, I thought it was majority, right? So it's like whatever the three of us agree on. So I'm going I'm going asshole. That's kind of where I'm leaning because again, it's
let it be known I hate this whole fucking competition thing. I hate what you guys have done to us.
I do too, because I don't want to come up with a punishment. I came up with one already and it got rejected off the bat.
Yeah, guys, I'm straight up just not going to do something I don't want to do. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm all up for fun punishments, but if I don't want to do it, I mean, it's got to be reasonable. And you guys might say that the suggested punishment is reasonable, and I was
going to say we're gonna save it for the for patrons. We'll
save it for the
rejected one was, but it seemed mild to us.
You're making us do extra work trying to come up with shit, guys. Racist.
Well, it's for the patrons, so
it is for the patrons.
Anyway, so my reasons for being the asshole. A lot of what John said, it goes beyond it's your money. You can do what you want. Like this is now here's the thing. If they had divorced and he had given put her in the will, fine. That's okay. But he's gone beyond this agreement he's had with his wife where it's just sex with other people. And now he's created a whole new relationship which was not part of the deal. And so he's now, she thought they were doing something else, and now he's turned around and been like, "No, I actually have a lot of feelings for this person, even though it does sound like a sugar baby kind of situation."
And the wife sounded really surprised by everything, you know, and it's just like, so to me that gave me the vibe like, oh, she was completely caught off guard that he kept probably saying it throughout the years, like she's just a side piece, not someone that I developed romantic feelings for. So I think he essentially like cheated the agreement. So that kind of breaks everything for me.
So that's where I'm kind of leaning on where he's the asshole. The money thing doesn't really affect my decision because I'm like, I do agree it's your money. You can do what you want. But I feel the situation surrounding the money is the real asshole part of it.
But the question was...
Fair enough.
Am I the asshole
for leaving money to my girlfriend in my will?
On the will? And I think 2 out of 3 agreed that if it were strictly the money,
okay. Now we're semantics. Let us know in the comments what you think.
I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna fucking lose another month. God damn it.
Let us know what you think, because I'd be curious to see. I do agree. That is the question. But
look, all 3 of us do not like this guy.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just looking at it semantics wise.
Fair. You're turning into a real Redditor.
Yeah, I'm growing this out a little bit down here under my
just this part under your neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna shave everything else.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna hit a quick break and we'll be right back with some more Am I the Assholes? So stay tuned. All right, we are back. What's going on?
My kneecaps are really sweaty. That's what's going on.
Nice. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
A
Sean,
good
anything
visual.
you want to share with us?
No, I just already am not looking forward to the rest of this month and the subsequent month.
Why not?
Because I'm gonna keep on losing to fucking Perfect John over here. God damn it!
Oh, I see.
It's a new month and I'm already heated. I haven't even had the first punishment yet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's only been 2 episodes in July.
Yeah, there's
Is this the second one?
no, this is the first
This is the first one.
one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might be right. Yeah. So this is the first one in
Dude,
July.
it's the first episode. You should be all right.
Yeah.
That's what
Lots
we
of time,
thought
lots
before
of
you
time.
hit your perfection.
Just mislead John in your predictions. That's what you.
I
gotta
let
do.
him go first that time. I tried that technique.
That's
that,
true.
That backfired.
Just ride his coattails.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so this one is cross-posted by Sad Lower Score Taxi, and it's titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Telling the Nurse at My Niece's School About My Profession?
You're not telling the nurse your profession, huh?
I don't think your profession is any of the nurses'
Concern.
business unless you're a fucking
Yeah.
doctor and she's like, is there a doctor anywhere in here? And you're like, oh,
You just ignored them?
no.
Mm.
But I don't think doctors do that. It's under you're under the oath. So I'm gonna say
What's the
not
code again? It's the
asshole.
Hippocratic code.
Hippocratic
yeah.
oath. Yeah.
Oath, not code. But yeah, I'm gonna go with not the asshole either. I don't think you need to tell people what the hell you do for a living. No one's entitled to know what you do if you don't want to tell them.
All right, so I, 29 female, was supposed to pick up my niece, Sophie, 7 female, from elementary school and spend a day with her. It was all mentioned before to the school, and I've picked her up a few times before. Sophia was running towards me, but unfortunately she tripped and fell down. Her knee was bruised and she started crying like crazy. I took her to the nurse's office immediately. The nurse was in her early 20s and helped Sophia with cleaning up her wound and dressing it. I told my niece a lot about my line of work, so she asked me if she was going to need stitches. If so, how many and what kind, etc. The nurse was impressed. She showed Sophia a few items of equipment she had and asked if Sophia wanted to be a nurse like her. Sophia said no, she wanted to be a doctor like your aunt, aka me. The nurse got a
Sean
bit
with
upset
the
and
doctor
asked,
prediction.
she's a doctor. The nurse got a bit upset and asked me why I didn't say anything about this. I was honestly confused. I was like, why would I need to even mention it? I even threw a couple compliments saying she was quite good at her job, and I enjoyed witnessing a professional at work. She said I was being too generous with my comments. I told her I was just being honest and thanked her for taking care of Sophia's knee. Right when Sophia and I were leaving, she said she'd never be able to guess my line of work correctly because I look a lot better than most of my colleagues. I thanked her again and said I appreciate her help. She said I still owe her for not telling her my job and that it felt like I was testing her or deliberately trying to see how she was doing. I apologized and said that's not what I meant, and then I knew she was more than capable of doing her job well. She said maybe I could find a way to make it up to her properly, and I was like, sure, but Sophia and I need to go now.
Nurse Riz, bro.
I don't know if I was a bit
Riz.
rude, but this had me thinking, should I have told her about my job, and am I the asshole?
No, okay. I think
No.
this went way over your head. You were getting fucking flirted with. I don't know how you misread that. She said you look better than a joke, compliments, make it up to her. Nurse Riz, bro. Yeah. Like an
The nurse was trying to
OP.
rizz you up. Yeah, take you
Yeah.
out.
Holy moly.
Is that also your reading, John?
There's
No
no
one can hear
other
you.
way
You have-
to read this.
It's like, dude, it's just like, I forgot that we're in an audio
Yeah,
podcast.
John's
but I'm just
nodding.
like,
Okay, fucking
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
There are people that
Oh,
don't
yeah.
watch the YouTube, John.
yeah.
That's true.
And shame on you. Shame on you.
Nurse
if
was
you don't.
spitting game.
Oh yeah, she was. That's some good. Like, oh, you got to make it up to me for not telling me. It's like, oh, okay.
She-
How do we do that?
I feel like she was not even trying to be subtle about it. You know what I mean?
No,
She is,
very
you look
obvious.
better. You need to make it up for me. I can't believe, like,
Imagine
Come
being a
on.
fly in a room here and just see like the social cues. You'd be like, oh, how you gonna make it up to me?
even Sophia, the niece, is like, I'm about to have 2 ants right now.
yeah, for real.
So there is an edit and update to this post.
Okay, good.
So
They go on a date.
OP is voted not the asshole, obviously, and they say, edit, I'd like to thank everyone for their lovely comments and making me realize what was going on the whole time. I'll post an update if anything interesting happens in the subsequent days. Thanks again. And something interesting must have happened because there's an update.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for the lovely comments on my original post. I appreciate every single one. And I would like to thank everyone. Sean's fist bumping.
I already fucking know, baby.
I would like to thank everyone who took their time to give their input on the situation. As you can see in my original post, I was absolutely clueless during the whole interaction and missed the flirting part altogether. So I took your advice, asked my sister to let me babysit Sophia again, and picked her up from school. Around 10 minutes before school was over, I went to the nurse's office with a bouquet of flowers and thanked the nurse for taking care of my niece's knee and asked her if I had the opportunity to make it up for my rudeness from my last visit. Thankfully, she agreed. We went on a date last night. It included a late evening walk by the beach and dinner. By the end of the night, I showed her the posts, and I think it's safe to say she was as amused as every single one of the commenters, and she can barely stop teasing me about it. So overall, thank you very much for your comments and help. And that is the update.
I think this deserves. I think this deserves another one. Yeah, nurse and Doc.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah. Doc
That is,
McStuffins.
That's a what's a double income no kids?
Dink.
Yeah.
Dink.
Nurse and a doctor? That's like triple income, no kids. Hell yeah.
Money.
Just money. Yeah, so I don't know. I hope they work out that the Riz worked, baby. The Riz worked.
The Riz, yeah.
Without Reddit, I don't know if the Riz would have worked.
True.
So
that's true.
Maybe Reddit isn't the worst place.
Let's not go that far. Let's dial it back a little bit.
That's true. Fuck corporate Reddit.
Yeah, corporate Reddit sucks.
U/SP Spez. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh yeah,
that
Spez.
guy.
Yeah.
It is now July and none of my apps work. And fuck you.
Oh god.
And he hasn't got the Reddit app yet. So
I refuse to get the Reddit app.
Sean's episodes are just going to be him rambling for an hour.
Yeah, guess what? I'm not even doing the Reddit portion of my Monday episodes going forward.
We're just doing comments.
Yeah.
Comments that have Sean mentioned. That's all we're doing.
I'm just going to read the email for my name.
I like it.
That's not surprising, actually.
So this next story cross-posted by Shutterbug Owl, and it's titled, "Am I the asshole for forcing my stepdaughter to cut her hair?"
Yes.
Yes.
Forcing someone to do something, automatic asshole.
Oh yeah, that is your rule, I guess.
That's my no.
Sean's rule is 25 and up, and your rule is
No forcing.
No
forcing.
force.
Both good rules, I think. What are you saying, Sean?
Yeah, I agree. As someone who was forced to get a haircut as a young adult, I don't know.
I thought it was
18.
like recently as an adult.
No, I
You
was like
could've said
18.
no,
I still
brother.
live with my parents.
You were still forced to get a haircut at 18?
To be fair, I had a dumb haircut, but still.
Define dumb haircut.
So I was rocking the mullet back then, right? So I had the mullet, but then
Really?
I shaved like the back to where it's just kind of like a rat tail, kind of like a Jedi.
Oh, you had a rat tail.
Yeah, I had a little
You're pulling
Jedi
the
rat
Anakin?
tail. Yeah. And then my dad was
God
like,
damn.
absolutely not.
To be fair, he was saving you from yourself, I think.
Probably.
Although mullet's back in, apparently. Mullet is back in.
Mullets never left. I would have one if I didn't work in corporate America.
Hey, they can't fire you over your haircut, Sean.
Yeah,
You
but they
have
can
pictures
not
of that.
give me projects or etc.
That's true. So go subscribe to our Patreon so Sean can wear a mullet.
Yeah,
on
let me
this
grow my
podcast.
fucking mullet, yo.
Yeah. Does Nancy fuck with it?
Huh? I mean, she's never seen me with a mullet. She's only seen the pictures.
Oh,
I have a
What'd she
feeling
say
if she
about
were
the
to see it
pictures?
in real life, she'd appreciate the mullet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
is that
Interesting.
is that what you assume?
That's
Is that
what
your
I assume.
prediction?
That is.
Nancy, please confirm or deny this allegation.
Yeah.
She's rocking with me for better or worse. It's
That's
that's
true,
what
that's true.
marriage is.
Yeah. When you got your mullet in sickness and in health.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow a sick ass mullet as soon as the Patreon could pay off. I'm growing a sick ass mullet. I'm shaving the rest of my facial hair, growing out this mustache, Gonna be real
Nice.
rad times over here. I'm gonna
Boy.
exclusively wear this T-shirt on every episode. It'll be sick.
God damn.
We're going to get so many comments on TikTok being like, wow, I did not expect these words from this man.
Gonna be like so many people no longer being patrons. Be like, we gotta stop this man from himself. we can't let him have a livable wage off Patreon.
Unsubscribing by the hundreds.
Unsubscribe.
People requesting Venmos from you.
Wait, guys, it was a joke. It was a goddamn joke.
Fuck, that's funny. All right, so let's hop into the story. I, 31, met my husband, 34 male, 8 years ago, and we have been married for 6. He has an 11-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. I work from home, so I mainly end up taking care of her. I have since she was young. Sorry, they got these weird, like the sentences just end
Weird
and
breaks.
it starts a whole new sentence, but it should just be one sentence. I feel that's going to be for the whole thing, so I apologize if I stop awkwardly. We have a generally good relationship. She stays at her mother's most weekends. She has incredibly long, blonde, wavy hair just past her bottom. It's a nightmare to take care of. It frequently tangles, and she always needs help brushing and styling it before school. I'm not a morning person, and I do not like having to wake up early to do a kid's hair. It's expensive to maintain as she requires more product. She insists on using hair oils, which can cost around $11 and only last a few weeks. She also insists she has to use curly hair shampoo instead of regular hair shampoo and conditioner, which is often over $10 per bottle, and she goes through it at a fast rate. She won't use a regular brush as she insists it breaks her hair and it hurts, so she uses a wide tooth comb, which takes a long time to brush when she could be doing more productive things such as homework or helping me with chores. I decided she had become obsessed with her hair, and I do not want her to become vain, so I decided it needed to be cut off. I don't see it as a big deal, as I've always had shoulder-length hair, as my hair does not grow very fast and I get frequent trims. It's a lot more practical. I took her to the hairdresser as normal. In the car on the way down, she said she wanted to make sure the hairdresser doesn't cut too much off. I politely explained that I would like her to cut her hair to shoulder length, as it has become a burden. At first, she thought I was joking, but then when she realized, she started to cry. When we got to the salon, the hairdresser was reluctant to cut her hair due to her tears, but I explained the trouble we were having maintaining it and assured cutting it would be best for her. In the end, the stylist agreed and cut her hair. The stylist braided her hair, then cut it, and she kept it. God, here's the weird breaks. Her hair was now just past shoulder length and looked a lot darker. The car journey home was silent. I offered her McDonald's, but she refused. She went straight to her room when we got back. My husband went up to see her when we got home, and apparently found her on the bed sobbing, holding her old hair. My husband immediately called her mother to come and collect her. As soon as my stepdaughter was at the house, he started yelling. Her mother also came in and gave me a mouthful. I explained my reasoning, but my husband wouldn't budge. He said if I had an issue, he would have done her hair in the mornings and that he didn't mind paying for the products. He was so furious. He said he no longer trusts me around his daughter and doesn't know if he can be with a woman who doesn't trust with her. This broke my heart. I didn't mean to cause any harm. I was just so tired and trying to reduce stress. I've always been the one to raise her and her brother, and I'm just exhausted. So am I the asshole?
Yup.
Yup.
And it's like, after reading that, how do you not feel like you're the asshole? You know what I mean? Like, you had zero communication with your husband about this, his biological daughter. You know what I mean? It's crazy. This was all done for selfish reasons. You cut off like more than half of her hair if you went from below the bottom to shoulder. Imagine if somebody gave you like a pixie cut when you weren't expecting it. You gave her like zero time to prepare. At least when my dad made me cut my little Jedi tail, he was like, it's got to go by the end of the week. You know what I mean? I got a few days to fucking process it. And I was still mad. But, I was
going to say, when you were telling your story, Sean, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is going to trigger something in Sean.
PTSD for sure. I'm remembering the exact moments. I'm sure I wrote I'm not saying I'm sure I wrote. I know I wrote a very emo Tumblr post about it. But quit acting like millennials. That? We were millennials. Anyways.
We still
got
are.
so mad I ripped the cord out of my headphones. I could not hear anything.
The trauma is real with this one.
Yeah. But I will say, like, this is even worse than what happened to me. This was like zero time to process it. This is like, hey, we should cut it, and then immediately cut it. Like she had no say in the matter. She couldn't even talk to her dad about it. Like you fucking trapped the fuck out of her. Yeah, you suck. This was very shitty of you to do. And I don't blame the husband at all for being like not being able to trust you. That's fucking crazy. You went way out of pocket.
Yeah, you went 0 to 100 real quick with that.
Even if this was your biological daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is out of pocket. This is crazy.
Yeah. I know there's like a lot of like Wikimaniacs who's commented on like stories that we've done, like involving like, stepkids, stepchildren, like step parents and all that. It sounded like this OP is, I'm saying she's the asshole, by the way.
I figured.
It sounded like, it sounded like this OP was trying to reason out saying like, oh, but it's me taking care of them. It's me raising them. But yeah, you completely skipped the part where you are not this kid's biological parent. So you have to consult the father. And if the father is like not available, which is unfortunate sometimes, then got to consult the mother first. Like you got to make sure you take all the avenues that you can, because you can't really make the decisions for that kid because it's technically not your kid, even though you're like same household raising them. Like a lot of people like has educated us. It's not the same like wavelength. It's not the same realm, So bad on the OP for just jumping the gun and say like, I'm frustrated with having to wake up in the morning to do your hair. You're just going to cut it. And the fucking hairdresser was already like, dude, you seriously want me to do this? This kid is visibly fucking
it's bad
depressed
when the
about
hairdresser's
this.
Like, maybe we shouldn't do this.
And that's their livelihood. You know what I mean?
They're like, I'm willing to turn down this business to not do this.
Right. So like I said, completely like what Sean already mentioned, I completely understand if the dad was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with your ass anymore. Like, I don't trust you with my daughter. And absolutely valid for that.
Yeah. And it sounds like he was willing to, if he was communicated with, to step in and be that parent to do the hair care, which is like, it doesn't even sound like you tried to communicate that this was an issue for you.
This was a fucking blindside.
Yep.
Fucking attack. Some trap.
An 11-year-old. So I understand, like maybe being, frustrated that you have to take all this extra time, but you should care about this kid and want to do that kind of stuff. But besides that, if you were getting overwhelmed by waking up, just talk to someone. Holy fuck. Like, and she's 11. So it, like, you could teach her how to do it herself, and then she could do it. Like, she's at that age where it's like, you could probably brush your own hair and do all this stuff by yourself. You know what I mean? Like 11 is on the cusp of being an individual. So
or put that sweat equity and just be like, hey, this is how you take care of your hair. Teach, like, even though if you take a whole week, take a whole month to like get them to learn how to do it, and then slowly get them to be more independent about it. And obviously you can talk. You made a fucking appointment to a hairdresser. Why couldn't you have given that energy to your husband and talk to him about it?
Exactly. Yeah, and then to like trick them into going to the hairdresser, and then in the car on the way, just be like, "Yeah, we're cutting all of your hair."
Not even on the way. I think she said they parked, and then she was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, it might have been even that. Yeah. That's it's just rough. Yeah, when it's bad when when 11-year-old refuses McDonald's, like they're not in a good spot.
Oh yeah.
Man, yeah. So a major asshole there. On that front. And with that, we're going to hit our last ad break and come back with the last story. So stay tuned.
Dude.
All right. We are back. Time to hit the last story before we get into the Patreon exclusive stuff. This one's cross-posted by the GOAT Blood Unicorn Valkyrie. And it's titled, "Am I the asshole for giving away my wife's espresso machine and grinder without her permission?"
Yes.
If I gave Juliet's espresso machine, I think I will be found on a ditch like the next day.
Yeah, that's the same, like, reverse. I love coffee, so if I woke up and I didn't have my coffee, I'd be not a happy
That's
camper.
Fucking crazy. I mean,
why would you do that?
Not like it not taking the espresso machine out of it, just selling anything that belongs to your partner without them knowing their own property.
Doesn't have to be coffee. That's true.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
This is giving me like, I threw it away to teach them a lesson vibe.
You think it goes there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because why would you?
The only way
it's
sympathy is if like they're broke as all fuck and then they're like, we can
Oh.
make $700. But even
Hell
then,
no. I
if you're
will not
broke,
give
if you're
sympathy for
broke
that.
as all
You
fuck, you're
talk.
like, this is my happiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you better
I have
better
this
talk
fucking
to her about it before selling that
flex.
shit.
Yeah, you have to talk. There's no way where you're not the asshole without. I mean, we could be surprised, but I doubt it.
Unless it's stolen. It's stolen contraband.
Then fuck it. They worked hard to steal it.
Yeah.
Damn.
You gotta back your partner up if they did that shit.
Damn. Ratchet partner.
No, officer, I was with her all night. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm her alibi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, never
Stealing
rat
ain't
your-
easy.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it's stolen from a fucking corporation.
rich.
If you're stealing
Yes.
it from like a friend
Normal
or somebody
people.
else, just a normal, that's fucked up.
Normal.
But if you're stealing from like Target, go for it.
Or one of those sub people.
The what? Oh, the sub people. Oh yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
I have fucking let all of that go as soon as I let my little rant go on the Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to
went
hear our
ham.
take on the sub, which is now 2-3 weeks old at this point, it's on our bonus, our monthly bonus episode on Patreon.
A ton of puns.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. All right, so my wife thinks I'm an asshole.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
my buddies are on my side since it was a mistake. and
'Cause
I
they're
don't
your
know what to
buddies.
do. The ride or die.
Yeah.
My wife Jane loves coffee. She used to work as a barista before getting a corporate job, but she carried it forward and regularly makes us coffees with fancy patterns. She has a really fancy espresso machine with a grinder, and they're her pride and joy. We often joke that it's the third wheel in our marriage, given how much she's interested in the drink.
How could you have sold this? Oh no! Her hobby,
are
her pride and joy.
Expensive too.
It's crazy.
Everything she cares about.
Everything. We joke that it's the third wheel. Like, bitch, what did you do? Fucking
So,
sold it.
Sold it.
Here is what he did. I thought for an early birthday present, it would be nice to get her a new one. I saw this seller who can refit espresso machines and customize them, but I thought it would be nice to get one that has olive and sage green accents. I'm quite proud of myself for thinking of it, and it would look a lot nicer in our kitchen. Hers right now is stainless steel and reflective, which stands out like an eyesore. So I got in touch with the seller, and he agreed, and he also helped me refit 2 portafilter handles with olive wood. One of them was her initials carved into it, and the other says, "Happy birthday, darling," with a heart. I was going to give her this today and show her the machine. I also got her a new grinder that had a that matched the espresso machine. Pretty thoughtful, right? Well, there was an issue with the delivery, so our machine got delayed. My buddy came by late last night to pick up her machine and a grinder, which I let him have because of the new one. And then in the morning, she would come down to see the new machine. Now there is no machine. She flipped out, asking me what I'd done with it because it was pretty obvious it was missing. So I said I'd given it away to my friend because he needed it. I didn't want to ruin the surprise. She asked me why I didn't think to tell her, and I didn't know what to answer. So I just said that he is broke and needed a new one. We went back and forth for a bit, and then she said she was going to a cafe and left. She came back, and then I forfeited what my plan was, and she was thankful, but still annoyed I'd given her machine away without at least asking her because it was sentimental value to her. And in brackets, her brother bought the machine as a gift for landing her corporate job. My view is that it would have ruined the surprise if I told her and the shipping only showed that it was delayed until this morning. I did message my buddy to see if we could get it back until then, but he said his parents are using it and I don't want to inconvenience them over a misunderstanding. So am I the asshole?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're a very thoughtful boyfriend. You got her a great gift. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I am a bad gift giver, but if I didn't hear her say like, oh man, like
I want
I'd love to get a new one, or like, oh
Yes.
man, this machine is
Right.
breaking down, or like complaining in any sort of way about it. If she didn't do that, then I would just be like, well, why am I fucking with that? If she's happy with it, why am I gonna, you know what I mean? But if she were saying all that stuff, then maybe. But even then, fucking just have 2 espresso machines then. Don't. And you didn't even sell it technically. You just gave it away to a friend. Inconvenience his
Kept it.
parents. His parents do not fucking matter. You know what I mean? If it's sentimental to her, get that shit back.
Yeah.
And then, you might be out of luck with your new one. Sell that one. I don't know what to tell you, brother. You gotta, yeah, it's crazy that you didn't think this had any, like, it's her pride and joy, blah, blah, third wheel, blah, blah, blah. And then you didn't think it had some sort of sentimental value. You know what I mean? You thought it was just any coffee machine. You know, I don't know. You don't suck. You're definitely not the worst person. But you're just dumb.
No.
I think you're a little dumb.
A bit of an idiot for sure. Yeah, because the thing is, like, he could have easily just hit it until, like, well, like if the one came in, he could have set it all up that night, hid the other one, and then they could have had a conversation. Okay, like, my buddy asked if he could have this. Can we give it to him, or do you want to keep it? Like that. You're so fucking close to being like a good person and a good boyfriend.
Close.
But you
I don't
just
even
missed
think
the
he's
mark.
a bad person.
No, he's not a bad person.
Bad planner.
Bad planner.
And he's just real dumb.
Yeah.
And horrible at the point where it's like, okay, what if the plan failed? Yes, it sucks that you won't be able to surprise her anymore, but you got to come out in the open and say, like, hey, I was trying to do this. I was trying to do something, like, thoughtful for you. You should have just disclosed it right there and then, instead of saying, oh, I just gave it away because my friend is
Terrible.
broke. Like,
my friend's a broke ass.
yeah, at that point, take the L and you know, convey, like, your efforts and what you were trying to do. And I think then your girlfriend would kind of understand, like, oh, this is thoughtful, thank you. But for you to sell a sentimental gift, God, that's trouble brewing for you already, my guy. Like, well, I don't know why you did that. So
yeah.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that you didn't just tell your friend, like, oh, the fucking thing got delayed. I can't give it to you. You had zero money. You could have just told your friend, like, hey, you can't have it, obviously, until I get the new one. Your parents can wait on this free, very nice espresso machine. So
yeah, because what's a couple extra nights for that? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And how much of a fucking pushover is this person? It's like, hey, I gave it to you. Can I kind of have it back because shit didn't work out? Oh, no, my parents are using it. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna inconvenience you, bro. Grow up.
Inconvenience them.
Get your shit together and get that shit back.
Even if you had the new one and she was like, that one has sentimental value, inconvenience them. Take that shit back. It wasn't yours to give in the
to
first
begin
place.
with.
Yeah, because maybe she wants to, I don't know, give it back to her brother or something like that. Who knows what she wants to do with that? But it's her property. It should be her choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very unfortunate. You are the asshole for that, but so close to being, like I said,
close.
A stellar boyfriend. You had the right idea. Your heart was in the right place.
Yeah, your heart was in the right place. You're just a little dumb.
You're just a little dumb. Not
There's nothing wrong with that. We're all a little dumb.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Not a little.
Yeah, a lot dumb sometimes.
A lot dumb. Yeah, that's fair.
That is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. What did you think? Were these people assholes? Let us know down in the comments on YouTube or in our Discord or on our subreddit. If you want to hear those last two stories, which got Sean angry, he was furious.
So angry.
Fuming.
Mad.
You can head on over to patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network and unlock those bonus episodes as well as episodes or extra stories every Friday and monthly bonus episodes. If you're a $10 patron, we got Wednesday episodes. So tons of stuff coming your way. Don't forget, you can submit your own stories to us on our subreddit. And you can cross-post your favorite Am I the Asshole stories also on our subreddit at r/Reddit on Wiki. Is there anything else you boys want to talk about before we close it out?
We Gucci.
All right. Thank you, Sean and John, for coming on, giving your takes. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Love ya.
Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.